It's live. Millions are watching.
Okay.
I think that turned. You're so short.
I know.
So, have you ever watched one of my videos before? Do you know how this works?
All right. So wait. Say that again.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Got it.
Got it. We're gonna count down.
3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Good
morning. It's time.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry. Okay. Too much pressure.
You're fired. There's
Oh my
no pressure
gosh.
because it's not live.
That's true.
There is zero
Okay.
pressure.
Oh, we're gonna be like animated.
No, you don't. What are you like? Who are you trying to impress? Ready?
I think so.
3, 2, 1. Good morning. It's time for a cup of Joe.
I want to be a cup of Joe. First sip in the morning.
You can't even drink it.
That is pretty hot.
All right, hello everyone. Today you are meeting two special women in my life who have never been on the Shoeless Joe channel before.
Hello.
This is my wife Erin and her daughter Helena. Say hi, Helena. There they are.
She's kind of tired.
Not cooperating.
I do the smile.
There you go. I said that we were going to make a video together years ago, and people commented questions they had for us, and so I found them. I dredged them up. I don't know if any of these people watch my channel still. Actually, I do know a couple of them do.
Finding a Way. That's a nice name.
You like that? Finding a Way says, how has Erin changed through you becoming minimalist? Is it easier for everyone at home with cleanup and chores? And how has minimalism affected your relationship, for good or bad?
Well, I am not naturally a minimalist at all. Joe probably struggles with that more than I struggle with the minimalism. I'd say sometimes it's both ways. But I would actually say it's been very helpful. And probably when he first started talking about it, I was a little more, I don't know. Hesitant would be the word. I'm thinking it's a little cray-cray. But since we actually, and some of his ideas I would think were just kind of crazy. For one, like, when we started doing the dishes, just everyone having like, they have one bowl, one cup, and one set of silverware. I thought that was pretty extreme. It's definitely not how I grew up, and yeah, it just seemed a little extreme. But we gave it a go, and actually it works really well. We still do it, and it works nice because when we'd first be married and we were working and stuff, the dishes would easily pile up and just be not fun when you have to like finally do the big pile of dishes. So this was nice because it definitely made it very much more manageable, and it just made sense. I think sometimes we're just it seems like such a foreign idea that sometimes it's hard to orient yourself to that, but it worked really well. And I think that was the big thing, like that's actually really helpful. And I started seeing minimalism more and like helps you actually spend time doing what you want to do instead of spending your time keeping up with all the crap that's around. So, and how has minimalism affected your relationship? For good, it's made things simpler. Everyone can clean up their own toys. It does make maintaining a household easier. I will say we're not to the point where it is quite minimal. I have so many clothes from all the kids and stuff that we're working through. And we have a small house that it seems like I end up trying to do that a lot, but it'll be nice once we reach that point of minimal clothing and stuff. How for good? So that'd be for the good. For bad, I think it's still sometimes a point of contention. He's still way more extreme than me on some things.
Me extreme.
Like not wanting a Christmas tree this year. So it can be a point of contention sometimes, but we're pretty good about talking it out and being good with where each other is at. I mean, if I wasn't around, I'm sure Joe would be much more minimal and have things how he wants it. But we're pretty good with working with where each other are at. I'm worth it. Even though I drive him crazy sometimes.
Cup of Joe.
What are you doing, baby? What are you doing, baby? What are you doing, baby?
I like how she grabs the face now.
And the 22726, a question for Erin. What is the one thing you would like Joe to get rid of, winky face?
It might be more a question about what I wish he would have than what I wish he didn't
Not get rid
have.
of.
I can't think of
I've seen
anything.
minimalist couples get asked this before, and it was always, I feel like, something that they like wore or something that was annoying, like an old favorite shirt or something they couldn't stand.
Yeah, your clothes are pretty low key, so
That's true.
you don't own anything obnoxious. I'm more the one who tends to own like ridiculous t-shirts and stuff.
Oh.
So I cannot think of anything I would have him get rid of. He just doesn't have a lot.
Lady Brittany says, question for Aaron. How has having a minimalist spouse impacted your marriage? Positives and negatives, which we kind of already talked about.
So.
Has it caused individual growth that inspired marital growth?
That's
and
intense.
how so?
Well, we talked a little bit about it, the positives and negatives. Positives would be, it has simplified a lot of things. I mean, it's just annoying going through all the stuff you own. And we've done that a lot, minimizing, probably more than other people, but it's got an end goal in mind. And we're still definitely doing it. We're not at the perfect, like, picture perfect minimalism yet, but...
Do you think there is one? Some people say that you never...
Probably not, especially when you have kids, because people keep giving you, like, more clothes, and you use them, and then they grow out of them so fast. It's always a lot of that, and it does simplify things, though, just day to day.
What about individual growth? What if I died tomorrow?
God forbid.
How would you... Would you go back to? Would you regress to your old ways?
I don't think I would be. You keep me on my toes, because you don't function well outside of minimalism. But I would say I want to go back to the way I was, though. I like the systems of simplicity, like just a certain amount of toys. That's really big. A certain amount of dishes and just like knickknacks and stuff. I think I would not go back to how I was, for sure, before marriage. I wouldn't. It makes things really simple, and that's the goal, is focusing on relationships and not on the stuff. So would not go back. I'm sure I tend to accumulate stuff more easily, so it wouldn't be perfect, but I wouldn't go back. And so inspired marital growth. I think it has helped us grow closer together, because it helps us focus on living really intentionally. I mean, minimalism is like basically just living intentionally. And I think what you own materially is going to reflect where you're at in every other facet of life. So I think minimalism just reflects where you're at on the intentional journey. So I think it's made us more intentional.
I'll drink to
in
that.
Marriage. Cheers.
Katha Horizon says, a question for both of you. Did you ever get rid of something you regretted and or missed afterwards? Oh, it looks like Helena misses something. What did you get rid of? The umbilical cord?
Anything we regretted getting rid of. Yeah, there's been little things, I think. Like,
can you remember any?
I wish I had that so I don't have to get it again. I'm trying to remember.
Have you repurchased anything that we got rid of?
I think so, but it's been small stuff. And small enough that I don't even remember what it was.
I feel like with things like that, like the minimalists talk about, well, like, to me, it's like I'd rather get rid of a bunch of stuff knowing that a few little things we're going to have to rebuy.
Yeah.
So I feel like sometimes that's the only way you can really know which things you need. Like, I'd rather get rid of 100% of the stuff and then buy 20% of it back than keep all 100% of it just because we don't know which thing we're going to need again. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing. I tend to be like, okay, let's not get rid of it all because I just don't want to buy more stuff. But that does make sense. And we've done that. There's been little things, not anything I can just remember, but just probably little household things.
And this is the thing, like, the minimalists, at least, I can't remember which one of them said, and I've heard tons of minimalists say, like, I've never regretted getting rid of anything. I regret getting rid of stuff all the time.
Joe's really extreme
in getting rid of stuff. But I'm fine with that. Like, actually, just the other day, I was like, oh, I wish I had that bag still, but I got rid of it because I never used it. Like,
stuff like that, usually.
I always regret things, but I don't care because...
I always regret.
Well, I do, but then it's just like... But then you just like, oh, well, I guess I'll just have to live without it or repurchase it. And often I don't repurchase them. I just find a way to get around it. So it's not like I needed it. It just would be convenient to still have it.
Yeah. And I think sometimes it makes you I feel like I'm getting better at knowing what things to kind of keep.
Yeah.
Like, because some things you don't use very frequently. So, like, I might use something a couple times a year. But if I get rid of it, then that time will still come where I need it again. And
Right.
so I'm kind of getting better at telling that sort of stuff. And it's never big amounts at all. So it's not a big deal. But it kind of makes you realize what sort of things you get a little better at minimalism, I think.
That's true.
So
yeah, at knowing what you'll need and what you won't need and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You want some?
Oh.
CMS Sultana says, Aaron question, has Joe's minimalism opened your eyes to your own consumerism, and are you starting to learn to lean in that direction toward minimalism? And then there's a question for me about it.
Okay.
I'll let you go ahead and answer that one.
It's a good thought. Yeah, I think it helps keep it in check for sure. And these conversations often come up, and that's part of, I think it's helped us live more intentionally as a couple, keeping that in check about consumerism, especially in our culture and Amazon Prime and stuff. It's so easy to feed that part of you that just wants to like get things. So do I find myself starting to lean in that direction toward minimalism? Yeah, I think once you live the lifestyle a while, it becomes really easy not to be inclined to buy stuff.
It becomes your new normal. It becomes your default.
Yeah, and like, especially when I see people like on Facebook posting about being $5,000 in like credit card debt and like Amazon Prime lifestyle and have all these boxes at the door. I find myself, I can't relate to that because yeah, we use Amazon Prime, but I take forever to decide to ever get anything. Do we actually need it? I read a ton of reviews and stuff. So I feel like doing this has made me much more focused on, does it add value? Is it worth getting? You know? So yeah, I'd say so. It's made me much more intentional in my purchases, probably. I was never a big spender, though.
Neither of us really were, which is makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I don't think either of us really had a problem with consumerism ever.
Stuff, no.
Yeah, it's made us more intentional and probably think a bit more before we purchase.
Oh, you want your pacifier?
But we both tend to lean towards not purchasing a lot. I just tend to accumulate stuff, so
I'm just gonna do that.
That would be my problem, but not actually buying a lot.
All right, my question: are you going to minimize? Excuse me, I'm trying to talk here. Are you going to minimize income too, or just put unspent money toward moving off grid, or the kiddos' future expenses, or something else? I see minimalism equals reduced spending and other positives. So, okay, so are we gonna minimize our income once we're out of debt? Because right now a lot of our money is going towards paying off student loans. That's the only debt we have, my wonderful student loans. So once we don't need that money for the student loans, are we going to get, jobs that give us more time with the kids, or are we going to keep letting that money come in so we can put it towards, kids' future and things like that? So I would say for right now, we don't have any plan to minimize our income. I would like someday to be able to quit my day job and work off of Aaron sells Young Living oils. And I have other small incomes and things. So it would be nice someday to be able to quit the day job and do that. But for right now, even after we pay off the debt, I mean, we'd like to put on down payment on a house and like all sorts of things. Yeah. So it'll probably
live in the country.
So it'll probably be a while before we would downsize the income, but that's not to say it would never happen.
And I think by downsizing, like you said, I'm a distributor for Young Living essential oils. So I do a lot with that, and part of the goal would be to grow that as a main source of income. It's a good side income right now, but to grow it as one of the main sources of income, so eventually he could quit his day job. Eventually. It's going to be probably a while because of our goals and stuff. And then, but once that grew as our main income, then we would still be able to focus on more of the relationship, spending time with kids, and like doing more intentional projects and stuff with the more free time that we would have. So it'd give us time freedom. So not necessarily minimizing income per se, but more minimizing, freeing up our time.
She's coming for your hair.
I see that. Pretty intrigued with that.
Oh, the mama.
Yeah. You're just happy.
I think we're good. Any final comments?
I don't think so. So minimalism, yeah, it's been good for our marriage. Great lifestyle. Let's live intentionally. Your kids' panties are falling off.
This has been your Cup of Joe.
And Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
Where's your shink?
I wanna be your cup of Joe. First sip in the
Normally I make my guests finish the whole cup, but you gotta pass.
This is a big cup, actually. It's got a lot of tea in there.
morning. You get your going ritual and what we sow from within. Let me be your cup of Joe. First
You're too funny.
All right. Love you. Bye.